Yo, what up, and welcome back to Pnoid News. Man, I apologize. I put up that video earlier. Tom P's fucked up, right? So, like, yo, it is what it is. The picture of the video I had with Sam Hyde, like, yo, y'all niggas be fucking gaffling Tom P sometimes, man, legit. But, like, yo, look. Yo, I want to tell you the truth about what's going on with this fucking thing, all right? Because it's highly important that, you know what I'm saying, we go on facts, reason, evidence, and we don't end up like fucking ASA trauma. We're out here pimping pessimism porn to, like, you know what I'm saying, individuals who are unsuspecting. Like, it is what it is. All right, so let's get into this. All right, man, listen, okay, first off, I wanted to stand here and bring y'all an update about what's going on. All right, this ship that's stuck in the Suez Canal at the moment, they're talking about it should be free by the, you know what I mean, beginning of this week. They're talking about bringing in, you know what I'm saying, a fucking crane and whatnot, right? At the latest attempt to refloat the refloat the ship fails. The vessel, which measures 400 meters long and 59 meters wide, could still be freed by early next week. Their plan A is to try to wrest the ship free without moving containers from the deck. They said there are two heavy tugboats on their way. Together, they have a pulling power of 400 tons. Those are really big guys. They arrived this weekend. Most importantly, he said a thorough investigation has shown that the ship's turn is not entirely pushed into the Calais. He said their hope is that the pulling power combined with dredging work now underway, a high tide of 40 to 50 centimeters next week, and the lever power of the ship's stern being relatively free, will be enough to release the ship sometime early next week. If that fails, he also laid out Plan B. There will also be delivered this week, which will enable us to remove. We are already mobilizing a crane, which will also be delivered this weekend, which will enable us to remove containers from the front of the ship. He said that would potentially involve removing up to 600 containers to lighten the load on the ship's bow and thus the canal bank. Right. The only issue is they don't know what the fuck they're going to do with the 600 containers. But this happens, you know what I'm saying, from time to time. It's highly important to understand exactly what's going on with this as a whole. Currently, they have an issue, right, about the livestock at the moment. Meanwhile, billions of dollars worth of vital cargo and sensitive products are backlogged on the vessels, including ships carrying livestock destined for different countries in Europe and Asia. 1,000 animals being transported on 13 vessels, mostly Romanian, could be at risk of dying if the situation is not resolved in the next few days. More ships carrying livestock are currently approaching the Suez Canal, Paul said. We are sitting in front of a major tragedy. If the channel is not released within the next 24 hours, because there are vessels that will run out of food and water in the next 2 days. Like, I feel like y'all could solve that by just, like, giving out food. You know what I mean? It's not a major deal. Okay, so here's another thing. This has happened 25 times in the past 10 years, right? Kind of important to understand as a whole, right? Let's talk about this, all right? This dick shape thing. All right, I feel some sort of kind of way about you morons not knowing anything, well, about Ice Age farmer fans, not knowing anything about, you know what I'm saying, like movement, physics, right? I think it's kind of important we understand movement and physics. So let's break this down for you fucking idiots, right? Okay, so hang on, let me get rid of this. All right. This is a bank turn. All right. With the bank turn, you end up having the center of gravity, you know what I mean, being pulled down against something. Now, when you have high winds pushing against things, right, and you have a ship being tilted towards, you know what I'm saying, a certain direction, in particular towards the east, right, you'll end up having to turn into that. I drive a large vehicle called a tractor-trailer. This happens all the time when you have high winds in a tall vehicle. You'll feel the wind turning. You're trying to turn your vehicle over. And what you do is you got to turn towards where the wind's blowing. And that way, you know what I mean, like your vehicle does what it's supposed to do. Hence the reason why you had the drawing of the dick. All right. They came up and they ended up having to turn to the right. Right. Once you turn to the right, then you can do whatever you want to do. And you turn back down, you turn up, and it pushes you back up and around again. Right. And then you do it again. Then you go out and you come up and you come back over and you try to come out of it and you try to swing around and come back up and around so you can end up hitting the place where you want to go. Because as you're trying to turn up towards the land or towards the canal, towards the channel itself, you'll end up having the wind push you in a certain direction. So it's kind of like, you know, it's like understeering a car, right? You can't just turn a car directly to the left. Like, it has to make a swooping movement, which is the end of this right here. And that's an important thing to understand as a whole, right? Nextly, another important part of this conversation that we need to have is that the fucking female driver was not a female driver. All right. There was no female boat captain. The female, who everybody's been out here saying is the individual who's out here captaining the ship, actually worked for a different company altogether. Right? She actually worked for a competing company, and you know what I'm saying? The individual who was standing here actually guiding the boat was, they actually had two of them. One is you have to have a canal officer on the boat to go through the canal just to begin with for, whatever the case is, to make sure you're not doing something stupid. And the second one is the real boat captain. Neither one of which was a female. All right, that female, you know what I'm saying, legitimately works for a competing company. I'm not going to mention her name, not going to put her picture up because I don't want her to get fucking harassed because, people are morons on the internet. Stop believing everything you read. Like, it is what it is. But in the meantime, look, I'm Tom Pease with Pnoid News. Stop listening to these fucking bums. Like, it is what it is. Peace.